Please leave your shoes outside the cell.
A criminal is born with it.
Good day everyone, I am Jezreel Zizaya from BSc 2-10 and it is a pleasure for me to report or to discuss my topic. But before we go on to my topic, please let me lead you in a short prayer. So let us close our eyes. Lord, maraming salamat po sa araw nito. Muli Lord God, humingi kami ng knowledge and wisdom para manawaan kung ano man po Lord God yung dapat naming maintindihan. Lord, maraming salamat sa iyong pinakamataas na purit, pagsamba sa tayong pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. So my topic is the pattern of criminal behavior, which are the neurotic, psychotic, and the psychopathic. So the objectives of my studies are one is to determine what is criminal behavior. Second is identify the definition of neurotic, psychotic, and psychopathic. The third is identify the difference of those criminal behavior. So first, what is criminal behavior? According to Andrew and Bonta in 1998, the four general definition of criminal behavior that will fit all the types of it are: first is prohibited by law and are punishable by the state. So this action against the law and the state is the one who responsible to give punishment. For example, the murder. If you kill someone with violence action, the state will give us a punishment according to the sentence of being a murderer. Second is considered to be violation moral or religious code and is believed to be punishable by a supreme spiritual being such as God. In this statement, our conscience has a big factors. We believe in God and in the law of God, like the verses stated on the Bible. The example is the verse saying what you sow is what you reap. Because of that verses, we didn't hurt anyone, so that God will not allow to hurt us by anyone. And our conviction become active too. The third is violate norms of societies or tradition and are believed to be punishable by community. It is the action against the law of community. For example, one of the tradition of Catholic, in every festival they have the event called Krakul. They dancing with their statue, but because you didn't know and you didn't believe on that tradition, you insult them verbally. In that way, you may commit violation from community. In your small action, there is equivalent punishment. So the last is act causing serious psychological stress or mental damage to a victim, but is somewhat affordable for offender, referred as psychological criminal behavior. So all criminal behavior, thus the best way to look at the problem of how to recognize the different types of criminal is to study the individual in interaction with the environment, because the environment is the source of our behavior. We are just like an empty bottle and the environment will fill us. So therefore, nakabase o nakasalalay sa environment, sa uri ng environment, ang ating behavior. Kung ang ating environment ay, kung paano ba natin itrato yung environment, may factor doon sa ating behavior. So, pasok na tayo sa neurotic. Neurotic, a type of offender having a fixed behavior characteristic. He feels inferiority or less important and Inadequacy, when we say inadequacy, it is feeling of being not enough and they feel insecure. But the most significant is his intense anxiety. He worried and fear about the everyday situation. So the neurotic suffers from hidden emotion or mental conflict between two code of conduct. He always want to meet the standard of being adult. And also he desire to return on satisfying infantile behavior or dun sa mga nagbibigay kasiyahan sa mga bata. So medyo nakaka-confuse tong neurotic, di ba? And he repeated the same act without knowing why. Basta gusto niya lang gawin yung isang bagay, pero kapag tinanong mo bakit niya yung ginagawa, hindi niya rin alam. So the behavior of this neurotic may be acceptable by social, but the only one behavior of neurotic that are not acceptable is when his sexual desires become active. And the neurotic is compulsive. He has a place for everything, and everything is in its place. So neurotic, for better understanding, I prepared a table to compare the neurotic and psychopath. So neurotic has a thin skin, but the psychopath has a thick skin. The neurotic is intensely anxious or palaging balisa, but the psychopath, has no anxieties. Neurotic is frequently feels guilt o madalas nakakaramdam sila ng guilt, but the psychopath feels no guilt. Neurotic is express love even though for himself, but the psychopath does not love. Neurotic is generally contains his anger o sinasarili niya lang yung galit niya, but the psychopath, he is aggressive and at time explosive. So nakakatakot ang psychopath kumpara sa neurotic, kasi neurotic naman is sinasarili lang yung galit, but siguro pagka napuno rin yung neurotic, siyempre lahat naman tayo as people is may hangganan or may limitation. Kaya medyo mapanganib din ang neurotic pag napuno na. Last is neurotic is compulsive or mapilit, and psychopath is impulsive or mapusok. So yung mga girls, siguro madedetermine nyo yung mga manliligaw nyo kung neurotic or psychopath, kung mapilit ba sila or masyadong mapusok. So pasok tayo sa psychotic. So psychotic, like the psychotic is a drop out from the society. He has a serious loss of contact with reality and creates his own world. He not only lie, but he believe in his lie. So kakaiba naman tong psychotic, because hindi lang siya basta gumagawa ng kwento, pero yung kwentong ginagawa niya is talagang pinapaniwalaan niya. And according to McCord, that the psychotic thinking is filled with self-reference and that hallucination. So, basta kung ano lang yung nasa isip niya, kung ano yung pinapaniwalaan niya, is yun yung tama para sa kanya. And this idea was supported by Parson. He is agreed with McCord and adds that the psychotic has no insight into his condition. He also writes that some psychoses have an organic cause, that the majority originates in the mind or in the emotional conflict. So schizophrenia or split personality as the best example of being a criminal psychosis. The psychotic displays a noted divergence from normal condition. So his action usually is motivated by the fantasy in which he lives in own world and the abnormal manner in which some psychotic crimes are committed have an internal symbolism. So I prepare also table to differentiate the psychotic and psychopathic. So psychotic is withdraws from reality and psychopathic attack the reality. Psychotic is created his own world of fantasy and hallucination, but the psychopathic does not. Psychotic may feel intense guilt, but psychopathic never does. Psychotic lies and believe his lies, but the psychopathic, through extremely skilled in the art of lying, never believes a word of what he says. Psychopathic, one of often used but least understood term in the criminal justice field. So Banay summarized the psychopathic behavior by saying that is strongly antisocial or hostile to society. So sila yung mahirap pakisamahan. So according to McCord says that the psychopath is a social, aggressive, highly impulsive person who feels little or no guilt and is unable to form lasting bond affection with others human being. Ito yung yung psychopathic, sila talaga yung mga tao na mahirap pakasamahan dahil sa ugaling meron sila. So sila ay highly impulsive or mapusok talaga, and kapag sila ay nakagawa ng kasalanan is wala silang nararamdamang guilt in their heart. So yun lang, and I hope you learned something from me, and God bless you all. Thank you.